Hello. How y'all doing out there? It's Thursday, 26th of October. I'm doing some laundry. So I just wanted to pop on and talk a little bit. Couple things on my mind. One thing I did mention before, I got my leg on Tuesday, so I've had it just a couple days now, and it's remarkable, amazing, and awesome still. So still getting used to it a little bit. Because this is so much different than my other leg. Anyway, so that's still positive things going on with that. I'm at the laundromat right now. Sitting outside. It's a kind of a bit of a cloudy day today, but it's still fairly mild. It's in the 50s, so it's nice to be able to just sit outside while the laundry is tossing around in there. I got good news, well, mostly good news from the cardiologist. I got the results of my carotid study, and they are still clear. No change from my previous study. I had my stress test done, and my stress test has not changed from my last one done in 2017, but it does show a very mild part of infarct, they said, of the heart muscle, but that hasn't changed, like I said. And I hadn't heard that before. Nobody told me that before, that that's what they found back in 2017. But obviously it was nothing to be concerned with. But she did mention the Widowmaker. So I guess this is where that little bit of stuff is going on. But he said, you know, you're being managed with medication, so there's no interventions that need to be taken. And obviously I'll continue to have follow-ups. He said probably 2 years I would probably have to go back in and repeat my stress test, unless anything else was to majorly change. And then the last test I had done was on the blood flow of my right leg, and they said it basically shows plaque throughout, particularly in my lower leg, on the right side. Obviously I don't have a left lower leg, and so they didn't check that, but there's nothing really they can do about it. And they said that my pressures up into my big toe were still normal. So, again, nothing to be done. My right leg is the one that I had lost, on my right foot, 2 toes already. And there's definitely certain amount of darkening of my skin on my left calf and shin, particularly you notice in the front of my leg, and that's called venous stasis. That's due to the blood not returning back like it normally should, and it tends to kind of pool a little bit and causes that darkening of the skin. So, like they said, if there's anything they can do, I mean, it's something, and this is, I guess, reinforcement for how careful I have to be about my remaining leg, because it's a very real possibility I could lose this leg too, just due to my disease. So I have to do whatever I can. I never walk barefoot anymore at home. The minimum I have is a pair of a sock on. But generally I don't take my sneaker off until I go to bed, just because, as careful as I can be with making sure there's nothing on the floor and, you know, picking up and stuff like that. You know, I have a kitty cat, Angelo, and he could mess around with something and get something out of the trash, or, you know, who knows. I just can't take a chance like how I lost my left foot and losing my right foot, especially now with my kidney failure and everything. I just, you know, that would be a huge blow. As if I haven't had enough happen in the last year. I think I've taken pretty much everything in stride. Because I'm no dummy. I mean, I've worked in healthcare for a lot of years, and I know how it goes. I know the progress and how things, you know, develop. Anyway, but it just kind of reinforced in me with hearing that, you know, there's nothing they can do about the calcification and plaque that's in my right leg. So take care of it. Only other thing that I've noticed, and this is a kind of a separate issue, but related to my diabetes, is all of the numbness or tingling and things like that I've had in my feet, in my lower legs. Never in my hands before. But just recently, I noticed in my left thumb a bit of numbness. And so you've all pinched off your blood supply before, and, you know, when you lay on an arm wrong and it goes to sleep basically, and it tingles and stuff until you get the circulation going back in it. Well, that's kind of the same feeling, but it's just on like the outer edge of my left thumb, right here, and it's not, and it doesn't move on, you know, forward, just on this edge. But it's something that I've noticed, and I noticed it a couple weeks ago actually, and it hasn't got any worse. It just kind of started, and so that's diabetes. And my blood sugar right now is probably, you know, almost the best control it's ever been in. That I check it continually. I mentioned before that I have this continuous blood glucose monitor that I wear, and so I'm checking my blood, you know, 10 times a day sometimes, it seems, because it's easy. I just hold the meter up there and it reads it. So it helps me to keep better control, knowing if I need to bolus insulin, or, you know. So, and my diet, like I said, is changed so much because of my renal restrictions, so that I'm sure it's helping my diabetes too. You know, carbs are not a huge renal issue unless it's certain carbs because of potassium. So potassium is huge, sodium is huge, phosphorus is huge. So those are the three biggies for renal disease. And so, like I said, I'm doing really good that way. So I don't feel like, oh, big warning sign because I have this little bit of numbness in my thumb, but it's just something new, something I'm, You know, when you have chronic disease, and I know a lot of you may have different issues going on, but anything chronic that you've been living with for years and years, you know when things change pretty quickly. Sometimes you don't maybe want to admit that there's been a change or that things have gotten worse, but in your heart of hearts, you know it, and if there's something that you can do about it, well, you got to speak up and talk to your doctor or whatever. But if there isn't anything you can do about it, then you just got to accept it and move on and work around it. If it's something that might inhibit you from doing certain things, then you find out how to, you know, find the workaround. Anyway, so those are just a few things. Those are just a few things that are going on lately. Anyway, I hope you're doing well out there, and like again, I'll say it again, like everybody always does, is, you know, click subscribe, click like, comment, whatever you want to do, and I appreciate it.